How do you react when someone or something upsets you or something doesn't go your way? Are you that type of person that has a freak out, has to like kick something or punch the wall or yell and scream? Or maybe you know somebody like that. You know, anger is a normal human emotion. I mean, we all get angry, right? But it's critically important that we understand how to control that anger. You know, anger leads to many problems in our lives. It can lead to health problems and relationship problems and problems at work. So we have to figure out how to deal with anger in a positive way. So if you've been feeling angry a lot lately or just frustrated a lot, maybe you're having some uncontrolled outbursts, maybe it's becoming a bit of a problem in your relationships or at work, or maybe you know somebody like that, well then you definitely are going to want to watch this entire program because I have 4 tips for you that are going to change you. They're going to change your life. And they're tips that aren't hard. They're tips that you can implement and you can start implementing today. Well, hey, big welcome to the DLT crew, our subscribers. If this is the first time you've dropped by here, this channel is all about tips, tools, and strategies on how to excel your life, excel your business, excel your career. And they're simple strategies. We just try to keep it real, keep it plain, but things that we can implement on a daily basis so that we can be better today than we were yesterday, and that we'll be better tomorrow than we were today. So if you don't want to just live life and let life go by, but you actually want to do life and do it to the extreme, then why don't you join us? Click subscribe down below. That would be awesome, and we would love to have you part of our family. But let's get into today's teaching on the 4 tips, 4 strategies on how to deal with anger. Okay, tip number 1, think before you speak. You know, we can get caught up, whether it be in an argument, a confrontation, something at home, at work, with our spouse, kids, whatever it is, and our immediate reaction is just to lash out. Now, when you are feeling that you start feeling your heart beating a little bit and you know that anger is starting to build up on you, you need to take a deep breath, you need to count to 3, you need to close your mouth and open your ears. Do not speak. Do not say anything until you calm down and you're in a place to say it. So tip number 1, think before you speak. And then what goes with that is calm down, relax. And if you have to walk away from a situation or you have to distract yourself from a situation, that's okay. Because it's better to take a bit of a break, a bit of a breather, compose yourself, and then speak. And that way, when you are speaking, you're speaking clearly, you're speaking coherently, you're speaking in a way, in a manner that someone will receive it. Because when we're angry and we're lashing out, it's like throwing salt on a wound. It's like throwing gasoline on a fire because we're barking out, we're yelling, we're reacting. The person isn't hearing us because we're reacting, and then we're getting more mad that they're not understanding what we're saying. So tip 1, slow down, take a deep breath, think before you speak. Okay, here's tip 2. Timeouts aren't just for children. You need to take a time out. During stressful situations, I alluded to it in tip 1, if things are burning up, you need to step back, step away from the situation and relax. But here's the other thing you need to think about. If you know you're going into a stressful situation, you know you're going into a place that might create anger inside of you, then you need to take a time out before it happens. And whatever that might be to you, maybe you want to take a walk around the block. Maybe, well, if you're like where I'm from right now, it's about -50. You don't want to be walking around the block. So whatever it is that's going to relax you, maybe you need to just go and meditate and relax and spend some time alone. Or maybe you need to watch a video like this for 5 minutes and just try to calm down and get yourself in a good place. Because when we get ourselves in a good place, we can receive things and we're much more tolerable. If we know that if we're anticipating that something's going to make us angry, if we know, like, for example, if I'm on my way home from work and my wife calls me and she's had a hard day with the kids and they're not cleaning the room and not listening to her, I'm starting to get angry all the way as I'm getting there. So no matter what happens when I get there, I'm going to be twisted up. I'm going to react immediately. So you need to stop in those situations and you need to find that peace, that inner peace somewhere, however you find that. Again, maybe it's taking a walk. Maybe it's listening to an iPod. Maybe it's listening to music. Anything that's going to calm you down, slow you down a little bit so that you can go into those situations better prepared emotionally, better prepared physically, and better prepared to understand and be able to listen again to what's happening. All right, here is tip number 2. I hope you're getting something. If you're getting something out of this already, please just smash that like button. That helps us to spread this program. It helps YouTube spread this program to more people so that they can get this information. But here's tip number 2. We all have triggers, correct? Everybody has a trigger. If you think about every time you've been angry, you've had an outburst, you've got upset in the last week or 2 or a month, think about all the things that made you angry, and a lot of them are the same trigger. So this might be a little radical, this could be a little crazy, but just change the way things are being done. As an example, I have a friend of mine who was getting very upset with his spouse because she was always late for work, and dinner was always late, right? So she was always late coming home from work, and he was always left waiting, and she was always late for dinner, and he was getting really mad. Like so mad, in fact, that they would have an outburst, and then they wouldn't talk for days. And here was my suggestion, my advice to him. Schedule dinner later. I mean, or schedule, if it's possible, schedule it later. Make dinner later. Or maybe agree that, hey, these nights of the week, we're eating alone, and the other nights we're gonna eat a little bit later at this time. If your kid's messy room is just you're ready just to peel your skin off because it's so messy, then close the door and don't just look at it. Just don't look at it for right now. Sometimes we have to eliminate the triggers we can. Things that are in our control, things that we're getting mad at that we could maybe adjust slightly, we need to do. So whatever, if there's triggers, and I want you to evaluate that right now, if there's triggers that are just making you mad every single day, is there something you can do that can change that? Maybe you're a manager or boss or whatever, and maybe one of your employees is always 10 minutes late. They're supposed to start at 9, they get there at 9:10 every day, and you're just freaking out, you're getting so mad. Well, guess what? Then why don't you start him at 9:15? He'll be 5 minutes early every day. Just things that maybe will just help you. Remember, it's all about you. Remember, anger doesn't help anything. It just makes it worse. And it makes you worse, and it makes people look at you worse, and it affects you in ways that you don't even realize. So whatever's in your control, if there's something in your control that's one of your triggers, then do what you can do to change the pattern and the behavior of those triggers. All right, here is my number 1 tip, my number 1 strategy to help control these angry outbursts. This is going to surprise you, but I believe that it is powerful, and that is forgiveness. What? Yes, there's 2 types of this. Number 1 is to forgive others. Don't hold a grudge. A lot of times you're going to see that you're holding a grudge. Deep down, things are really pissing you off and making you mad because you're holding a grudge on that person or that thing. They're always going to be like that, and you've held it. They didn't do it last time. They didn't do it this time. You're holding a grudge, and so it's making it very easy to trigger. So you need to forgive them. You need to move on. You need to give them a second chance. You need to believe in them for better, and that's number 1. And the second one is to forgive yourself. Because a lot of times when we just have an outburst and we are angry, and then we get angry at ourselves for having the outburst, and that makes it even worse, and we can't calm down, and it's all about me, 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 me. The easiest way to relieve that is just to forget it. Forgive yourself and forget it. Forgive yourself. Say, you know what, next time I'm going to do better. Next time I'm going to do this. Next time I'm going to react this way. Next time this happens, I'm going to take a quick time out. I'm going to count to 10. I'm going to go 5 minutes, and then I'm going to readdress the situation. Whatever it is, that's what you need to start implementing. So would you do me a favor? Would you pound that like button? Again, I hate saying that. I feel it's like a cheesy, subscribe and hit the like button, but it actually does. YouTube actually, the more likes, the more comments, the more subscribers, the more they send this video out. So we're trying to build this channel. We want more people to see this, more people that want simple, practical tools that they can implement on a daily basis to make their lives better. So thanks for joining us. So glad. If you haven't subscribed already, make sure you subscribe. And hey, while you're at it, there's a couple of videos right here that you might want to check out. I really hope that they will help you in your journey to be a better person.